Oh, the clock needs to be fixed.
Yeah, don't look at that.
We still got time.
Wait a minute, what's that? We've got it.
We do not, actually. It's a little after 6.
Oh, yeah.
And then it confused the handle. Oh, wow.
My kids would be like, oh.
Order, the March 9th, 2026 work session meeting of the city council, at 6:06 p.m. And council members are around here,
Everybody's present.
everybody here. Yeah, huh?
And then we'll just do, interpretation.
Yes, what? Oh, Biz, hi, Andrea, how are you? You can go ahead with your interpretation info, please.
Thank you. I want you all to know that your internet might be a little choppy. You all look choppy and your sound is coming in a little cut. Just so you know. But hi, everybody. My name is Andrea. I'm here with the Community Language Cooperative. We're going to be practicing language justice today, and we're going to have simultaneous interpretation in English and in Spanish. You will be able to see the Spanish video in the YouTube channel of the City of Sheridan. Please remember to select your language if you are in the room by clicking the globe. Hola a todos, soy Andrea, estoy aquí con la Community Language Cooperative. Vamos a practicar la justicia del lenguaje el día de hoy y tendremos interpretación simultánea en inglés y en español para que podamos escuchar en el idioma de nuestro corazón. Más adelante, si estás viendo esto en YouTube, vas a poder ver la grabación en español. And thank you, host. We can start interpretation now.
Thank you. So first up is the Colorado Sock. Hi, I know you guys.
And if I, why don't we, how do you want to do this? You want to come up to the table here, guys? It's probably easiest, or maybe Ernie, you scoot over here. And then let you two guys here, if that's all right. Sure. And then we can go through, we got your presentation up there with the slides, we can do that and the video. So whenever you guys want to do that, just let whoever's running things, okay, Megan's running things right there. And I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Take it away.
Wow. Well, thank you guys for having us tonight. I'm Curtis Gardner, the Executive Director of the Colorado Soccer Foundation.
And I'm Jody Asarch. I'm the Development Director and do some programming and coaching as well.
Should we introduce ourselves? Jay, you want to start?
Maybe, because I don't know if you guys have met everybody before. You've been to a meeting.
I recognize some photos.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So Jay Whitaker, Councilman Ward 2. Christopher Clark, Councilman Ward 3.
Sally Dale, Mayor, you guys already know me. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, sorry. Skip that, man. Come back to us. He's hungry.
Desiree, City Councilman Ward 1.
Michael Moreno, Mayor Pro Tem.
I'm Betsy Stewart. I'm the city attorney.
I'm Ernie Camacho, Councilman Ward 3.
He is, I'm Devin. Hi, see you again. And
Jennifer Ruba, city clerk.
I'm Reagan Critchfield, Deputy City Clerk.
I'm Jeff Martinez.
yes.
Okay, now.
I'm also, he's one of our interns, so he's here to see how city.
Okay.
Right.
From Red Rocks.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
And Anthony Lopez, I'm a council member as well. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, no, we are very grateful to be here today, and we have, some pictures and some videos, and I think maybe the best way to kick it off is to start with, if you can cue up that video. This is hot off the press. We just had it made last week, and we think it gives you a good sort of flavor of the work that we do, and so.
And I'll just a little bit more background on it. So we have been in contact with the new women's Denver Summit FC team. And through that, they connected us with also a childhood friend of mine, but they are a media company. So he said, I knew his dad, in honor of his dad, they did all of this for free. They took some of the footage we have and came out and did some other footage, but like Curtis said, it will help us honestly raise money, but I think it puts out a really nice picture of the Colorado Soccer Foundation and the space that we're in. It's amenable.
Yeah.
Soccer at its core is pure joy. From the moment you step onto the field, lace up with perfect touches, the back of the net, your joy. But it's more than just joy. Soccer also develops skills. It builds confidence, resilience, and a place to belong. That's the mission of the Colorado Soccer Foundation, making soccer accessible to everyone who wants to learn. Because when kids have access to soccer, things change. They're fitter, healthier, more confident, they learn how to work together and how to bounce back. They stay engaged. You can see it working every day at Soccer City. Friendship, community growing, affordable year-round access that keeps everyone connected. A space where everything matters and everyone is the same. None of this happens without our donors. Every dollar we hope and even for today and help bring this.
You guys are the first to see it.
Yeah. So there's a sneak peek. So those shots you saw are from our facility that we have in Aurora. It's called Soccer City Aurora. And the slideshow will give you a little bit more background about what actually is going on there and who we are and what we do here. So there we go. So, well, you might recognize this picture. This is on the Fort Logan Northgate campus over here. So last summer 25, we did what we call skills sessions for kids in the neighborhood. We had about 100 kids sign up for that. And it was really, really great for us to see that there's a big appetite for soccer. Maybe that's no surprise for you guys, but we saw it in action last summer. That carried over to some after school programming that we did with the Fort Logan Northgate kids through the fall season. And it's part of what we're continuing to do in the meantime, while we explore sort of this bigger idea, which would be bringing the Soccer City model to Sheridan. So get over. And you might have guessed we're a nonprofit. So we're a 501c3 with a mission to provide access to soccer for kids who want to play. So pretty straightforward. We're a little bit different than a traditional youth club though. So some things that we don't do, for example, we don't make competitive teams and put them into the Colorado Soccer Association official leagues. We are more about just giving kids the opportunity to get in the door and play the game and enjoy it. And giving them the mentorship and all the good things that the game can offer to them through more grassroots programming. So in a nutshell, we're a combination of soccer, community, and we're very thoughtful about long-term sustainability as well. And so, yeah, go on to the next one here. There we go. Okay, so the Soccer City Aurora model. So it's a facility that we opened in 2021. Our standard there is we talk about it every day. It's world-class. We want the kids to feel like this is a special place. So you see that in the quality of the turf, the field lights we have there, the indoor space that has a really nice community lounge for kids. So these are all things that we want to have at a world-class standard. The city of Aurora contributed $500K to us, and that was through the sale of the Broncos, which happened a couple years ago. So that came through the municipality. And because of their belief in what we do, they gave us $500K of that. So that was a really nice testament to our work. We have, like we said, there's no secret. Kids love to play soccer. So this place has been packed. We average about 161 check-ins every night. And so you might wonder, like, well, what is that exactly? Well, we offer $5 memberships for kids for a month. So they pay $5. If they can't afford that, we waive the fee, or, we scholarship it. And that allows them to come and play every night we're open. So it's essentially pick-up play. So if you know soccer, we offer pick-up play every day. Jump in anytime, Jody. Moving on here, so. More specifically, some of the programs that we offer, I mentioned pick-up play. That's a regular one that we offer. And then the summer skills training, which is a little bit more seasonal. So it's more of a summer program when the kids are out of school. So we'll do it at times that make sense for kids and families. And then another core program we have is soccer after school. And that program serves about 1,000 kids every fall and spring season across the metro area. It's really, really cool to see these kids at 3rd through 6th grade. Many of them never played soccer before. They practice twice a week at their school, and then they come to Soccer City on Saturdays and play in what was basically a game day that we call it. So it's like an in-house recreation league that we coordinate on behalf of the schools. They bring their families, they bring their aunts, uncles, grandpas, grandmas, and it's just a really magical day for us on those game days. Those are the fall and the spring seasons. And so we would love to be able to do that here and serve as many kids as we can with that program, really all these programs, but that's a very core part of the Soccer City model too. Joe, you want to touch on the community members that you hire?
Sure, and connected to community members that we hired. So I was here about 3 times a week last summer with the skills training that we did here. We also, of course, do it in Aurora. But one of our big programs and my passion of programming wise is we mentor students to become coaches. So we interviewed and hired Sheridan High School students. We had a good mix of boys and girls, and then helped them become coaches. And one thing that's really core to us is the positiveness of sports and really the mentoring. So when we did midsummer reviews, the questions weren't how good were your drills? The questions were, are you connecting with the kids? How many kids' names have you learned? Are you welcoming? Have you made a connection? And, you know, these kids are adorable, and they loved it. They loved that part of it. It was at first a little, you know, they're high schoolers. So, but they got into it. And Lisa Lopez helped coordinate that program. She's the assistant coach of the girls at Sheridan High School and also works for Sheridan Rising and was a key component of that. And then at Soccer City Aurora, what Curtis was referencing, we hired the kids from the community to be the front desk staff, to be the field supervisors. So like in pickup play, there's no coaches, there's no referees, but our staff is out there. We give them pennies, we time it, and they know everybody's name. They know, you know, and what happens, which is so amazing, is these kids are working on their social skills. They have a sense of belonging. We've done evaluations, and that belonging sort of mental health component, we came in, let's do soccer, and then knowing what sports can give kids, but have really seen it come to life, especially because of that. And then the skills training, like we said, doing here in Aurora, parents, pickup play is harder for that 4-year-old to 13-year-old. They need a little more structure, a little more supervision. We had a lot of beginners coming in. So that's where we hired more high schoolers to do that program during the summer. And it's wildly popular. We have 270 kids. We had to add an extra session, and the kids, the coaches are getting as much out of it as the kids. And hopefully we're getting the next generation of really positive coaches, because it's important in sports that you have good coaches. That's part of the equation. Sure.
Yeah, you guys stop anytime if you got questions for sure.
What's it pay those kids?
What's the pay? Well, in Aurora, it's around, I think we paid them around $16.
That's for hourly staff.
Yeah, hourly staff, but in Denver, the minimum wage is $18.75, so it ranged on their, we paid them 18, I think it was 75.
I can't remember exactly, but yeah.
It sounds fair. Sounds fair.
Yeah, and it's for 2 hours. We come in at 5 o'clock and we talk about hype speeches, and we ask them what their plan is for the day, and then afterwards we say what went right, what went wrong, so making it, you know, a 2-hour block.
Question. You guys are 501. Who's your guys' biggest sponsor?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, we had an angel donor, a family foundation, who helped to fund the construction of Soccer City Aurora. That was about a $5.2 million project, and they funded it all. They no longer give us money, because they were, at the very beginning, they said, we'll help you guys get this started, but we would love to see more local support come in over time. You know, they didn't want to just continually fund the project. So they were our initial donor. We have since found more local support. So we have a couple foundations who give us annual operating support. The city of Aurora, which in there.
Is that also the one that, where they take care of the kids that can't afford the program as well? That's
Great.
what-
Yeah,
Great
just,
question.
yeah, just for instance, the soccer after school program costs us about $250,000. We pay the coaches. We think that's really important, the equipment, all of it, and we underwrite about 85% of that cost. We don't, it's pay as you can. There's no reporting, it's just on trust base. If, the program costs us about $125 a season. We tell parents that, what can you pay? And it averages out about $27, about a third are fully scholarship, a third coming in around there, and a third a little bit more. So, but it's through foundations and some corporations, and so the fees of that program cover about 15%.
Do you get the same foundations that sponsor you every year, or you have to find new ones all the time?
A little both.
Yeah,
A little both.
we love, if you can do it multi-year funding is ideal, but not all foundations do that, particularly right out of the gate. Some are.
The last thing, how did you reach most of your people? How did you reach them?
Yeah.
The
Good
kids
question.
or the
The
foundation.
foundations, yeah.
Oh. It's just part of what we do, it's, but board members have been key. Some board members have been really, really crucial about, making.
So this comes from wherever it just comes from different places.
Right.
Pretty much. Okay.
Yeah, and you're asking about, also here, it ties into our last bullet here, the financial model. So we think of it as contributed income, which you're referring to, foundations, sponsorships, and then earned income, which is a big part of our budget as well. So we're split roughly 45% contributed to earned. Earned revenue is things like field rentals. So we will rent the fields to youth clubs from time to time, and that's really important for us to generate unrestricted income. And what we are very careful to do, though, is not book out time for the community. Not to overlap with time with the community. So we have a balance there that we always are trying to hit between, trying to earn money, but we know that our mission is access to soccer. So we set aside time for the community.
And the clubs would rent more.
Yeah.
Let them. We'll try to hold that. Especially because it's a turf field and there's lights. So it makes a big difference for the community. Like Aurora PD loves us, comes by all the time and just thanks us for keeping kids busy at night.
Yeah. Good questions. Well, sorry, yeah, here's just more pictures.
Those are all the Sheridan kids at some of our coaches. Yeah, this is summer.
There we go. You can keep clicking through here. So there should be 6. These are all videos. So,
They're the one in the bottom middle.
okay, there we go.
Bottom middle.
So one of our foundations has highlighted us on their website, and
This is the one that I remember.
I'm a great English teacher, but I also do, I'm the soccer coach here at Soccer City. Soccer is a great way to teach kids ourselves in market. As you get to experience like negativities, positivities.
But like a life that it's like don't ever give up on yourself. If I'm at school and I did a bad grade on my quiz, that's okay because I tried my hardest during school. And it makes me feel more positive because it makes me know how much better I can do.
Goldfish. Goldfish is my motto. It is so hard sometimes in everyday life to really try to see positivity in things. So in a soccer game where you don't have any timeouts, where you don't have time to really talk to your players, you have to incorporate the goldfish map in 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds to freak out, scream it out in your head, and then move on. That plays moves on. Just like life.
If someone was to roll or like if I don't do something good enough, I get my goldfish, put 10-second memory, and just leave it behind me. And it just makes me focus on what's in the present and what probably happen in the future. Soccer made my life so better. Like I used to come so late to school, like you didn't wait for me. But now it made me realize how responsible I have to be and I have to come earlier. It made me more responsible and more positive during my testing. And since soccer is like all you in college, you can let anything come down. It made me realize more in school. If I miss something, it's okay to try again. We all make mistakes.
Just to be the best you can be. And I think the best you can be is different for absolutely everyone. So it's really about the child.
So with my victim, my soccer coach, or my teacher, she made me realize that you can't always be everything. But you gotta try your hardest.
Basically the same things I'm trying to teach in the classroom. So discipline, responsibility, politeness,
And that everything is not about you. You can focus on yourself, but you also gotta take care of other people, like your friends, your family. And it just helps you more out to figure out how life is. And she makes me realize how life can be hard, but sometimes it can be back to you. So just keep your positive and use it instead.
That's my person. I love it. It's so cool.
Sally has been to Soccer City.
I have, it's amazing. There were so many kids there. Yeah, and we were at, we came on a Saturday.
It was a game day, yeah, exactly. So those are the days where all the after-school kids are there.
And it was, the kids were just having so much fun. There were lots of family people. There was, these areas for, the kids to, you know, while they're waiting for their turn or whatever, there's areas inside the building that they can, different games and, places for them to do homework, and there's a snack bar for them to get chips or whatever. I'm sure lots of Takis are served up
It is the
there.
number one.
And restrooms and what have you, but it was such a really uplifting, positive. It's so much fun. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. But the kids are great. I don't know, that little girl is like, dude, she is just so joyful and so able to bring what she's learned and articulate about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learned a lot of soccer time.
I'm like, oh, this is so cool. That she, you know, learned to show up on time and that her attendance has become better because of it, what have you, which is true for kids. You give them the stuff that they want and they need, and we'll give them, you know, set them up with wings and they take off and they fly. Oh, it's really cool.
Well, we don't have to play all these videos, but you guys, I think you'll have access to it if you want to watch more. Yeah, next one. So we like sports metaphors. So here's the draft game plan for us. And also you can see very early stage diagram. And in case you're wondering where this is on the school district campus. It's just south of Fort Logan Northgate and sort of southwest of the high school and west of the bus barn area. There's currently a field there, so you might know what I'm talking about. And the layout here, the field sizes are, you know, that's not necessarily the way it would be. Those are just so we can sort of see what is possible in terms of field sizes. Part of the beauty of soccer is it's flexible in terms of spacing and how it can fit into different spaces and the types of fields you can have. So what you see here is even a little bit bigger in terms of the field space than we have in Soccer City Aurora. So it's a really lovely space and we think it would work really well for a Soccer City model to go there. You can see the building just to the north of those fields there that it's labeled clubhouse building there. So it's got some outdoor seating and indoor space there.
So that's right off the parking lot for the middle school and community center.
That's right.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And that north, that road you see there, that's like the wraparound part, that wraps back around to that parking lot there. Just the very edge of that.
Does everybody know where we're talking about?
Not the library.
So the library is in the, right about there, yeah.
Yeah, and then the middle school is just to the, just off the picture to the top. So the middle school is right up over there,
And yeah, that's the rec center.
Rex and America.
That's more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you,
Now, if we could just get that land in to the south of it, that's owned by the state, but they're not doing anything with.
yeah,
That would be cool.
that's right, there's a little plot there. So our game plan is here. We are speaking with the school district, who's been very supportive of this idea, and thank you to Dr. Thompson over there and their board have been very supportive, and we are working on that lease with the goal of having that signed by the end of the spring. We recently found out that we were successful in this $1 million lead gift, which is contingent on the lease and some future funding that we will need to get to make it happen. But that's really incredible news for us and was pretty critical to getting the project moving forward to the next phase. So that was great news. That will shift into more capital campaign work, which is very focused on trying to find more lead gifts like that. So, you know, building the capital stack and making sure we can fund the whole project. In the meantime, we're going to continue with community engagement, you know, moving forward with good momentum that we got last summer and last fall, and hopefully into this spring and this coming summer as well. It's a really important summer for soccer. The World Cup is coming here, the Men's World Cup. And so, working in soccer, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for us. And so the timing of this is also, there's some urgency around the lease and getting this project to come to life by then, because there's going to be a lot of momentum and a lot of opportunities for us this summer. And the timeline, if all of that pans out, would be to start construction next April or May, hopefully finishing it, opening it by the summer of 28.
And the 28 would be a really cool date because the women's soccer team is hopefully opening a new stadium in 2028. So women's soccer, more soccer for kids, accessible soccer, it could make a really nice story too.
And at the school district level, I think it's okay if I share that all of this stuff is in the lawyers already now, so. Just moving forward with it.
Does this support us staying in the community center as it is now, the rec center, where it is now?
Cause it, well, the rec center, of course, is on school district property as well. And so it's, it wouldn't have any effect of the rec center or the CTE building. But cool thing would be, oh, wow, this is really kind of a cool building. Maybe we need to step up our game. Sounds, that's my thinking. I don't know if that's their thinking, but my thinking is, oh, wow, there's this great soccer, you know, field and building here. Maybe we better, you know,
It's a great
give us
question.
a paint coat.
I think it's positive towards investment.
It's very
in the community
positive.
On the recreation side, and so,
Absolutely.
and I know with new direction that they have in South Suburban, there is discussions about capital projects and some investment in Sheridan along those lines too, so they certainly can't hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When does our lease change? Or when is the lease up for the rec center?
South Suburban. 27.
2027. Okay. And there's discussions going
Danny
on.
talks
with
about
the
it.
extension.
Yeah.
We talked about it
Yeah.
for, since I started, we've been talking about it. The lease.
Yes, 2027.
It'll all compile into making it a really neat place. Yeah, for people with lots of different stuff to do.
Well, it's kind of a perfect storm, you know.
From what we
Perfect
know
timing.
in Aurora too, and what we found from the model that we have, it's very conducive to working with other community-based organizations, including other recreational, you know, focused entities. So we are unique in what we do. And so it's not unusual for us to be able to work and use our space as a community hub of sorts. So, you know, there's an anti-vaping campaign that we did this past year in partnership with the local county health department. And, you know, that's not our mission, but we have so many kids and families coming through our door that other people recognize it as an opportunity to reach folks, so. We've certainly taken that mold.
Yeah, in part, we have usually every year between 25 and 30 different partners that come in. They do a camp. We helped Sheridan Inspire this summer. They were doing a soccer camp, so she used our equipment that we were storing in the school. Why not? You know, so, and shared coaches on with them, and the Adams County Health Department I met here at your barbecue, at your school barbecue, doing an anti-vaping. I said, do you want to come where there's a ton of kids as well? And she's like, yes. So they started this campaign called Be at the Top of Your Game, relating anti-vaping messages with sports performance, which has really resonated. And then we have a youth member advisory council that Adams County is going to train to also deliver that message for them to the kids, because peer-to-peer messaging is where it's at.
So,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I think not only does it not sort of encroach on the rec center space, but we see it as we can complement each other in a lot of ways.
It's like.
yeah, I'd love to do programs with them and other soccer, like Colorado United, other soccer organizations.
Well, and like being on the library board of trustees, I've talked with them, and let them know. So Ollie, Sanitas maybe reaching out, or you should reach out, because, you know, maybe a gate in the fence, because they do after school snacks and programs and what have you. And rather than be a competing, you know, entities, have them work in tandem, where while kids are waiting to get on the field or whatever, they could be, you know, doing some after school reading programs or summer school reading programs or whatever.
Right, go to the library.
I'm on
Then
it.
go play soccer.
I got these people
I
done.
figured.
And Dr. Thompson has talked about, it would hopefully help soccer programs at the high school, at the middle schools, keep
Mhm.
kids here and really get them playing soccer before they get to high school and make the teams competitive.
Yeah, I think that will bring us.
I couldn't see the parking. Is there gonna be additional parking or?
Yeah, good
maybe
question.
The middle school or?
Yes, so that's part of the conversation we've had with the school district, just to make sure it'd be okay for us to use some of that existing parking. And, the answer is yes, and part of the reason why that can work well is because our typical hours, work well next to each other.
Weekends.
Right.
Some, yeah, and it's a nice cost saving. And our parking lot, we have a Ethiopian church next to us, thank goodness, very good partner, because on those soccer after school game days, our parking lot overflows. We have about 125 spots. And they let us use their parking lot, which is right next door. So, you know, depending on the event, but you guys have a lot of parking, which is so great.
I don't remember how many spots that because you could come from either way, you could come from Fort Urban Northgate or from the high school.
Right.
But making sure that there's signage and what have you for the rec center. So, you know, this is rec center parking, where,
That's true. That's a good point.
yeah, I think Gianni and I talked about that. And
Yeah, that's it.
thanks for bringing that up, yeah, thanks. That's really kind of cool.
What was it about Sheridan that made this happen here?
Yeah, great question. We had one of our board members made the initial introduction, so he knew of, he knew of someone who used to work at the school district that he had been in touch with, you know, a couple of years back. And so when we did a strategic planning process back in spring of 23, you know, we had an agreement and said, we want to look for places to expand and replicate the soccer city model. We developed, we had a whole expansion committee, we had criteria for that, and it was a combination of going through that process of, you know, keeping our eyes open for possible locations that sort of fit that criteria. And the fact that this board person, you know, connected us and opened a door and helped us start the relationship, and just sort of carried on from there, really.
In talking with Sheridan Rising, Nellie said soccer was their number one thing that kids asked for, and that was part of why we did the pilot program here. Let's see if kids are interested. And, so, and for me, I played soccer growing up at Fort Logan, so it's like coming back every day to my soccer roots. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Riverside Renegades.
Yeah.
Taxi cab, that was so long ago.
Oh, right.
How long ago was that even?
I don't know. I graduated in 87. But yeah, the community and the willingness of the school district to work with us and then talking with the local organizations, community organizations, and then seeing if there was a demand so far in the process. And then talking to you all, would love to hear, any other concerns, questions now, if you think of them later, if you come up with them, and we're always open to whatever questions or concerns, and we'll continue that community process. It's really important that the community feels part of it. As or community organization.
I think it's wonderful.
That's really cool. Yeah, and, you can, I'm sure that Chris or Jody would be more than happy to take y'all on a tour.
Oh my gosh, definitely.
Cause
And
it's
our,
the neatest thing there. It's just,
obviously, we'd love to have you when we have 900 kids running around through the day and, or a pickup play at night. Those are, hard times sometimes for, people, so we're also there during the week, obviously, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anytime. We're kind of on the way to the airport, if that gives you, or if you're on East Colfax at any point.
yeah. Yeah, or even, set up a tour, if you guys want to go together
Absolutely.
or whatever. Cause that's what we did, we kind of went together and it's really impressive. It's not, it wasn't anything that I expected. It really wasn't. I mean, when they said, clubhouse, I'm thinking, okay, whatever. No, this is a really nice clubhouse. Some really cool furniture and what have you, and yeah, the kids seem to really love it.
Well, if council wants to, if everybody's kind of nodding, they'd like to maybe at some point have a tour. I know the mayor's been out there. And so if you want, I'd be happy to work with Curtis and Jody. We could maybe come up with some times, maybe wait till it warms up a little bit. I went there on a pickup at night. It was really cool to see how all that works. I was very interested in seeing, what does that look like? What does the community look like when they're just coming in and dropping in? What does that interaction look like? And it's just seeing all that. And that was very cool to witness. So if you guys are all interested in something like that, I can certainly work with these guys and set it up. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, thank you.
It's a positive place, it really. Yeah, if you're feeling down, go out there.
That's,
Because it's
that's
very
true.
positive.
Fill your bucket.
Yeah.
Sometimes we work just during the day and then leave kind of before, and then we stay at night, you're like, yes. this is
Well,
what I'm
and-
doing.
I think one of the things that was interesting, like to myself and the other school board members was that the children, when adults walk in, like especially in a group, right? Children kind of, there must be somebody important kind of thing, and they kind of wrong. These kids were very interactive, hello, can I get the door for you? And I mean, I went in to use the restroom and one opened the door for me and asked, well, hello, how are you? I mean, they were just very polite and engaging. And I'm like, this is really cool. So when they talk about soccer being great for their self-confidence and confidence building, it was obvious and evident. It was really neat. They were just, no problem telling us. I walked up to one of the games and they had no problem telling me, oh, well, let me tell you what we're doing here. And I was like, that was very cool. It was really kind of neat. So really a positive place. So,
Thank you.
We'll let you guys, you want us to stay or?
You guys have any other questions, council?
No, I asked mine all earlier.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. No problem. Oh, I'm sorry, am I in your lead?
Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, you don't have
I
to
look
stay.
forward to seeing this.
It's not gonna be nearly as much fun as the rest of them.
No.
You good?
All right, nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Have a good night. Thank you.
yeah.
We'll start fundraising. How much more capital do you need for that thing?
All you can get.
What do you got?
Probably 3 to 4 now.
Cool.
But we still did that.
Yeah, we'll do our best to support you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good night.
Continue. Yep, Now that's a way to start out a meeting, David.
There you go, right?
Pretty cool.
Okay. If everybody's good, we'll just walk through our agenda items. We've got pretty straightforward, pretty quick and easy tonight. On the agenda, first, we have an ordinance on first reading. This is for a new fireworks code. We currently do not have anything that's straight out says fireworks, right? So we've always kind of used nuisance code and other things along those lines to do that. So the chief has been working, I know, and with this department for a while here on putting a new code, new fireworks code in place. Chief, do you want to say anything?
Sure.
Tonight?
Yeah, Deb pretty much covered it, but really, we don't have anything specific towards fireworks. And I know last year we had some concerns and some of you had mentioned them to us. And we did a lot of going out and looking for the people starting fireworks. A lot of times, unfortunately, it's on the Denver side. It just looks like it's here. But even those that we've come across, we did cite a couple of people last year. But it's not as easy and straightforward as it should be. And even the law didn't read as specifically as we have now. So it's also part of this is, say somebody wants to do fireworks display here in Sheridan, if that happened, right? Maybe it's a new soccer squad. We didn't really have a process for that. So now we have a process. They'll go through our city clerk and have to do an application. Then the police chief and the fire chief will have to review it and okay it, and then it has to be presented to you. So it just formalizes those things that we didn't have before, but it really makes it a lot easier and straightforward for us to enforce, but also for the people that are our citizens so that they know what they can, what they can't do, right? Most of the time we weren't allowing it anyway, but it was just a little more complicated. So this just really cleans it up and it keeps it in our local code, so.
And then I have one amendment to this, so it'll be on page 22 of y'all's packet. In section 50-73, subsection C, subpart 4. I need to change the words city council to city clerk. And so that'll allow it to be an administrative process. I apologize, that's my error. I try not to ever have errors in your packet. That's on me, but when we get upstairs, when it comes time for that, I'm happy to make the motion for you. I have it written. And then with the amendment, and somebody just needs to say second or a so moved and then a second, and then you all can vote. But I'm sorry about that. But all that does is that keeps you all from having to do a whole process with that. And like Chief said, both he and the fire chief will have to go out, check out the display, make sure everything's safe. And then they write something, it goes to Jenna to review, and then she makes the determination, so.
I'm sorry, Betsy, I thought we changed our mind because when
I know.
No, we wanna keep it an administrative process. Have the council set
Yeah.
the guidance up and set the parameters and then have it just be an administrative,
Because we don't want to have to go out every time
Yeah.
somebody wants to do a fireworks show.
yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
apologize about that.
no,
If you read it correctly, unfortunately, I put the wrong version
But,
to Jenna. So yeah, that's my fault. So thank you all for understanding. I apologize about that.
Any questions about fireworks ordinance? So this will be first reading. We'll come back again on second reading. When it comes back in second reading, we'll have already made that amendment, so we won't have to do anything
Yeah.
other than just take any public testimony.
So we could do fireworks we could do a city fireworks display by the 4th of July.
Only if the city court signs off.
Only if Jenna says so, and the chief and the other chief. So, yeah.
Do these have to be, like a professional? Do they have to be, like a pyrotechnician?
they have to be a pyrotechnician.
Yeah.
Yes, and they do have to follow state guidelines for that.
Okay.
It says that in here that they would have to be a pyrotech for the state guidelines, so I had it in here somewhere.
And this is one of the few ordinances where our office, we specifically cited to other provisions, statutory provisions, since it's a more technical area. So that should add an extra layer of definitions, compliance, all of that.
And there's relatively few groups out there that, right, have the qualifications and the
Yeah.
licensing, everything to do all that. When I did them up in the mountains, so, you know, it's a handful of groups out there that you work with on all these kind of things, and you don't wanna work with anybody else, right? You want the professionals, you want the people who are already been qualified by the state, who've already been licensed and said they know what they're doing.
And have insurance.
Have insurance, huge, yes, things like that.
It's under 5073. I see it now. See it, I know, so,
It's like on the next page, yeah.
yeah, 5073, B2.
So when we get to that
Yes.
part, then Betsy will let you guys know up, when we're up there and we can make that motion and amend it while we're up there.
Yeah, so for procedure, you'll do the motion and second on the original resolution.
The amendment.
Then we'll need a motion to amend, and you can just click it on your machine. I will copy paste what the motion to amend says to change the words. And then we will vote, we'll get a second on the motion to amend, and we'll vote on the amendment.
Yeah.
And then we'll vote as, on the resolution or the ordinance as amended, so. But it all is ready to go in the system, so,
So you don't gotta think up the language, you can just make the motion and.
yeah,
Jen will-
it's already typed up and ready to go in,
Oh, great, okay.
so it's good.
I forget sometimes that you all have the,
Yeah.
yeah, the software that's so lovely. I'm just forwarding you then what I was gonna say, and you can fix it however you need, if you even need to fix it. Thank you.
And the other two items that we have tonight are resolutions. One is an IGA with Arapahoe County. This is so that we can have a voter and polling center here at the city again. Jenna, is there anything you want to talk to council with about that?
So this is similar to what we did in 2024, so it's just our commitment to hosting, the polling center here in person. So we will be hosting again for 4 days, so this amendment just, states those days and times that we're gonna be hosting. That way we can have an accessible location for people of Sheridan, so.
And we set it up in the council chambers
Go
last
to
night.
Council chambers again, we've done the walkthrough for the ADA part of it already. So we'll be open October 30th and 31st and November 2nd from 8 AM to 5 PM. And then November 3rd is election day, and we'll be open 7 AM to 7 PM. And so Reagan and I will be here with them and make sure they have everything they need, and last time it went really well, it was a really neat experience, and it was fun to see just different stories of people coming in, and like we had a multi-generational family that came in. We had the kids voting for their very first time with their parents and their grandparents here, all voting in person, and it was just really neat. So I'm glad we can bring this back and offer it again to people. Sure.
Yeah, it went well. It was very well received.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is the only voting location in the city of Sheridan. So the other closest one would be the Civic Center for the city of Inglewood or Arapahoe Community College. So it's nice that we get to be a designated location now.
And we had pretty good turnout last time. I expect to get even more this
Yeah.
time, so.
And we'll be able to advertise for it and stuff, and make sure people know that we're here.
Starting the seventh, we're gonna make it up.
Okay, and so that IGA is just kind of sets in all the agreements we have to have in place in order for us to function as that. The other resolution is another IGA, and this is between Sheridan and Arapahoe County, and this is on the Cybersecurity Consortium. And so we already have our IT folks that attend and are part of this effort and have been for a while. Jenna's gone to some meetings. And this is really kind of formalizing what has been up to now an informal arrangement of IT folks and clerks and others from the various cities in Arapahoe County getting together, talking about cybersecurity. And this is formalizing that agreement and that arrangement. More importantly, it doesn't commit us to any kind of funding whatsoever. So any funding or any projects that would come out of this would have to go through a separate agreement. So we'll come back to you for that level, that consideration. This really just sets out the working arrangements and says that we'll put some staff time, we'll put people towards it so that we're participating in this as well, which we already are doing. So it's really just formalizing what's already happened.
I think it's a benefit to the city because we are smaller than most of the other organizations, especially Arapahoe County. So when it comes to IT stuff, we have our contract with our IT group. They come in usually like a couple of days a week. But this gives us access to other IT professionals that are working in municipal government that understand like the threats, and we kind of share like, what are you guys seeing as threats on your systems and how are you mitigating these threats? And so we're working together to make sure that we're not getting these cyber attacks and just kind of having a group that can talk about it and just other resources. So it's beneficial to our IT department.
And a little history in that we did have a cyber attack about 7, 8 years ago here. And we ended up paying some amount of ransom. That was part of that to get our information back. We now take measures to which should prevent that from happening again. We back up remotely offsite every single day, everything we have. We do training with our staff. We go to these kind of meetings. We have all the software, security softwares out there that monitors our mail and all those types of things like that. So we take quite a bit of steps. It was actually one of the questions that was asked to Teresa and I when we did our ratings call with Standards and Poor's to do our bond refunding. We had that call today, and that was one of the questions. What have you guys ever had a cyber attack? What countermeasure, not countermeasures really, but what preventative measures are you taking so that you're not going to have that happen again to you? So they were very pleased to hear all the things that we're doing, and we're doing a lot. We're making sure that won't happen to us again. As much, everything that we can do to
So
protect
that
that.
was really taken from, somebody took it?
Yeah.
And you had to pay for it,
Yep.
and they got away with that?
Yep.
Did
And we are
they-
one line on a very long list of people that happened
Did
to.
they send the money through Bitcoin or something?
It was Bitcoin, yeah.
That's how they did it.
Mhm.
Ain't that something?
Yep, so we paid
Wow.
we paid a Bitcoin ransom. I think it turned out to be like $4,000 or $5,000 if I remember right. I can't.
That's all?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Oh, that's not bad.
No, but we don't want to do that
Something
anymore.
happened.
We don't want to do that.
right?
Yeah, this was back when a lot of that was new and had first happening and cities weren't protected, so they were going after, they'd gone after the big folks with the big money, right? But then they started going after smaller folks, smaller fish out there. And they knew they couldn't come up to us and go, oh, $10 million. And they're like, oh,
Okay.
I got it. It's not gonna happen. So they go like, oh, they $5,000, all right, and you pay it because, yeah, it would cost more.
To mess with it.
It would cost more to not have that and try to rebuild all that data than it would be to just pay them and get it.
What was the
And they knew that.
guarantee of you getting it back? Do you pay the money? What's the guarantee?
There is none.
That they could have just took the money and said, give us more.
Yeah.
Potentially.
What country do we think they were from?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. No clue.
I don't know if they're, know about that, right?
Our IT guys were dealing with them mainly, but basically our stuff all got locked down. And we couldn't access it.
That's crazy.
Wow. And they were saying, they'll get rid, if you want to access and get back to it. Of course, we got it back, so we paid, we got it back, we backed it all up. Now we back it up every single day. So they can't threaten that kind of thing of locking up our data. They're like, I already got it. The most I'm gonna lose is $12 or something like that, or whatever it is. I can rebuild in one day, that's fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
Lesson
Very
learned,
well.
exactly. And that's why we want to be part of this consortium, because it's a continual lesson learned
Yeah.
on this, because the bad guys are always innovating, right? So we want to make sure we're trying to stay a step ahead.
Guys, you always done.
Devin, it says Sheridan parties. Is there other organizations that are gonna participate with us?
I'm not aware of any. Do you know of any other Sheridan? I mean, I guess it would leave open if the school district wanted to be involved or something along
Just
those lines.
curious.
Or, other type of governmental entities that we have in Sheridan, that if they might want to be a participant on the consortium, this would open up the possibility of that.
Cause we were the only municipality that had parties listed after it.
Is it? Okay. I'm not aware of any. No,
Just curious.
yeah.
We're just so mighty that we come as parties.
Yeah,
Bring the party.
we're trying to be bigger.
Yeah.
So that's our meeting. That's our meeting tonight. Those are your action items tonight. Any questions on any of those? Okay, I can do my manager's report really quick, or we can just, I can do it upstairs. That's fine. We'll do it upstairs.
What are you doing upstairs? I don't hear
I'll
anyone.
do it. I'll just do it upstairs.
All right. And those start new ones.
I'm gonna take a photo, y'all like it. I'm gonna tell them.
You hear when the sun comes up. And it's warm. That's it's showing everybody's eyes.
Yeah, she closed all the windows. The drips all come down.
No, but take it away from the beauty though.
I did not like the nuts. They must have brought them.
There's one of many people who believe that daylight savings is after.
Wait, I like it during summer because it stays lighter longer. I appreciate that.
It was only created in time of war and
Yeah.
that was 70 something years ago. Not, my math is very wrong,
Yeah.
but still it's very long time ago.
How you doing, Jeff?
No, that's not true. I left you right there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, right, yeah. I wasn't sure if it was any trouble. Just, something I told you I learned is you see that.
That's what I was gonna say, was like not, but. Yeah. I was gonna say like.
The officers are sharing behind this book. Yeah, like they have, they can catch some car talking.
Emails?
I did not hear that.
Not right there. Yep.
He was one, I don't think he did. That's, he didn't hear us. Yeah. We started talking to see. Started talking to Ken. It's casting.
That was on the right hand side and.
Computer. Meeting.
Yeah, oh, for the iPad, it is not good. I know it's not. Wait. Wait. Wait.
She hardly still. Yeah, she. She removed it. It's not in the recent time, she in a couple of. She had on school conscience.
January.
But it is.
You guys ready? I'll go ahead and call the March 9th, 2026 regular meeting of City Council to order. We're all present. Sorry, that was funny. No, you're fine. Are you good?
Sometimes.
Okay. I will go ahead and, I know, can I pick the gavel here and hit turning? No, just go with it. I mean, that was great. We'll go ahead and have, our interpretation, info, please. Oh, I can't see you.
Hello, this is Gisela. I'm going to be the interpreter. Hi, everyone. We're going to be using simultaneous interpretation. Va a estar usando interpretación simultánea y la grabación va a poder ser vista en el canal de YouTube en la ciudad de Sheridan. Host, you can go ahead and turn on interpretation.
Thank you. We're going to please stand and join me for the invocation followed by the first allegiance.
Gracious God, we thank you for this opportunity to call people for a meeting. We thank you for each and every one who is here today. You have blessed us with support of people who seek the welfare of your people and your church, school, ministry, business. Loving Father, we thank you most of all for being here in our midst. Let your presence be made known and lead this meeting today. Thank you, Father, for we know that you are always here to support your people. We give you thanks and praise. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next we have the agenda approvals. City clerk, are there any changes?
No changes to the agenda, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Staff reports?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The only thing I have is the retreat. So I've been busy working on the retreat, getting everything scheduled. But I just need RSVPs. So I need all of those by tomorrow. If you can let me know if you are attending and if you're bringing your spouse or not. But I would appreciate having all of that tomorrow so I can button all of that part up. And happy to answer any questions. Preferably, thank you.
Next, city attorney, sorry.
Hi, yes. So I'm looking forward to the retreat. Both Jeff Wilson and I will provide presentations. And you'll also get to meet Jeff Wilson at the next council meeting, as both Brandon and I are unable to attend. So I believe at the last meeting I told you, but he spent, oh gosh, around 30 years as general counsel of Colorado Municipal League. And he's practiced, around the state ever since, doing local municipal representation. So he's looking forward to coming down. So other than that, just working through all my tasks and enjoying being here. If you all have any questions, let me know.
Thanks. Deb, you're next.
Thank you, Mayor. A few things for the manager's report tonight. One, I started to talk to you a little bit downstairs during the work session about the ratings call that Teresa and I were on earlier today. I'll talk about that just a little bit more. So it was our ratings call that's associated with our refunding of our GO bonds. And Standards & Poor's does this, and what it involves is basically it's about a 30-minute discussion you have with the raters, and they ask you all kinds of things about the city. They ask you to talk about the economy. They ask you to talk about what are your current and future debt needs. They ask you to talk about your budget and what kind of capital needs do you have, what kind of, if any, deferred maintenance. They talk about I said capital, I think I covered most of it, but you get the idea. So you're generally kind of talking about what's up with the city. And the nice thing is that it was the same raters that we talked to during the COPs. So it's right, the COPs, well, not exactly the same as bonds, but the issuance process is very similar, right? And they still do a rating part of that. So it was very nice. We had the same people and we kind of just got to update them a little bit. And so it went very, very well. We were very happy with the way the call went. And Bruce Kimmel, the city's financial advisor, was part of that as well. And he was very happy with the way it went too. So very good. We should get a verbal rating. So they'll call us, I think on the 19th of this month, and give us a verbal update on what our rating can anticipate to be. And then they will publish the next day. So they should publish on the 20th. Our rating will be public and will publicly rated at that point. Okay. So, and I'll make sure you guys know what that is. We're anticipating it'll be good. You know, it should be a step up from what it was. And I don't remember off the top of my head what we had for the COPs, but it should be a step up from that on that rating. So very good process. And thank you to both Bruce and Teresa for their assistance with that. They did great.
Kevin?
Yes. Oh, hi, Teresa.
Did you want to tell him what Bruce said about the council?
Go ahead.
Well,
Yeah.
he did get on towards the end, Bruce did, and he really complimented the council about how engaged they are, how, good questions, and that they're really looking out for the city's best interest, and how much of a pleasure it is to work with them. And I thought it was really neat because he didn't need to do that, but he did get on and he really paid the city council a compliment. So,
Yeah, and he works with a lot of councils. So that was a worthy, worthy comment from him, coming from that with a lot of his other councils he works with, and didn't have quite as many positive things to say about them. You guys should be proud with the way you do that. Yeah. Thank you, Teresa. Appreciate that.
Fist bumps all.
I had a meeting last week with Leslie Levine. Leslie is with the county health department. I know several of you have met, or I know the mayor has. I know Councilmember Moreno has met with her with regards to the Food Security Coalition, and that group that's been doing some work around a sweetened beverage fee and how that all might work together. So she's in the process right now of kind of having discussions more at the staff level with the municipalities that will be involved in an IGA to continue forward with the process of looking at a fee that would be placed on sweetened beverages, and then that fee would go to fund food security efforts in the area. I think in the county. I don't think we have anybody outside of Arapahoe County at this moment. But I'll be part of that moving forward on more of like on a staff support level to help them work through some of the issues around an IGA. That's going to take a while to get that in place. But that effort is ongoing, and just wanted to let you know that I did meet with Leslie and will be assisting with that. I also had a meeting with Judge Soros, our presiding municipal judge. The judge and I, as you know, we have regular standing meeting. We meet about every other month and talk about court issues and what's going on and what can we improve and what can we change and things along those lines. And one of the issues that we're working on now will be our community service processes. So very administrative level of how do we work our way, what's our administrative process for doing community service when it gets assigned out of our court. So it's good that, and what I really appreciate about a judge is she's very respectful of what we've done in the past, but also looking at how can we improve in the future on doing things. So we have very good meetings, and I just wanted to report that to you that we are regularly in discussions. I am regularly discussions with the court and making sure that our municipal court continues to serve the public in a meaningful and efficient way. That's all I got, Mayor. Happy to answer any questions.
Next is the police report. Chief?
Just wanted to make sure I reintroduce Isaac Weiss. He's one of our interns, one of the 4 interns we had from Red Rocks Community College, and he's here to see how city council works. And he wanted to join us tonight. So thanks for being here, Isaac. And then I just want to touch base and just talk about how our department and law enforcement in general, how we have to have accountability and transparency. So last week we had some officers that were addressing an issue that involved some juveniles. There was a female juvenile that there was a couple of them that wouldn't calm down. One of our officers, it was cold outside, they even offered his jacket, used the jacket for one sister. The other one, eventually, and the father came and he was trying to settle her down, but they couldn't get her to settle down. She ends up threatening to hit the officer. She's already on probation for assault on a police officer. So before she could do so, the officers took her into custody. As they put her in handcuffs, she turned around and spat right in the face of one of our female officers with, I mean, when I mean spit, it wasn't just a little, it was goobers. It was awful. The female officer immediately went to stop her and put her hand kind of down on her face and then came down. That was, when I saw it, I thought that's a reasonable response. It wasn't like she really assaulted the person. She just got her, spat in her face. It was awful. But nonetheless, being that we have to make sure that we're not, everyone accuses of, the thin blue line and we just protect each other and we don't report these things. Myself and Commander Connolly went to the district attorney's office today and presented that to ask them their direction and felt if it crossed any line of possibly assault or anything of that nature. Also protecting the city, protecting the officers so that no one can attack us later and say, oh, you guys didn't do that. Because you could take a still frame of almost anything and make it look bad. And if you saw the hand coming here, it would look like, was she hitting her? Was she beating her? What was she doing? I'm happy to report that the first DA that looked at it said, I don't see anything there. Is that all? And we're like, yeah, but we want to make sure we're showing you. And then got the assistant district attorney to come down, or the second in charge, and came down and looked at it and said, that is not out of the ordinary, and that would not be unreasonable for someone to do that. They just got their somebody spit in their face. So it really it hurts and it makes me angry when our officers are treated in that manner. And just as she carried and the other officers took the juvenile female away, and after she put him in the car and the stuff still on her face, it just hurts me to my core to see anyone have to go through that. And then to think that I have to take it in front of a district attorney and say, did she violate laws? Where most of us, if somebody spit in our face, we're going to do something very similar. But I just wanted you to know that is the high marker that we set for our police department, is that even though the decision that the DAs were saying the same to me, I don't want to leave that right in our house and someone would come along later and then say, this department is just covering up for their officers, et cetera. So as much as it pained me to have to, say, did she do something wrong? Well, she's got spit on her face. It's what we do. So I just want you to have a little, some more faith and encouragement of our department of, we're never going to hide anything. We're going to stand in front of our wrongs when we do them. And, sometimes things may seem questionable or not right, but I believe this is absolute right thing to do, because if anyone does get this, it goes to court, right? And then they look at it, instead of talking about holding the female responsible for spitting in the face, that they say, well, look, the officers were abusing and no one did anything. So we've got it where we've already made sure that no one can make those kind of accusations for us. So just want to let you know about that. It was heavy on my heart this whole weekend, thinking this is what we had to do, was go down there and talk to them about that. But it's the right thing to do, because as we all know, no one's above the law, including ourselves. And even though we have an incredibly difficult job to do at times, we have to be held accountable if we cross that line. So I'm open to any questions or concerns that you all may have.
Thank you. And thank you for that report. That was very good. Thanks. Next we have the minutes. Minutes of the regular city council meeting of February 23rd, 2026. I will entertain a motion. And it's already up there. Bye. Thank you, Michael, for motion and Desiree, for the second. I think we can vote, maybe, I don't know. Yes. That passes. Next, we have the consent agenda, authorized disbursements that have been or will be made from February 16, 2026 and February 28, 2026 in the amount of $705,975.40 per the reference and attached transfers of funds. Thank you, Councilman Moreno and Councilman Camacho for a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Hearing none, we can go ahead and vote. That also passes. We have no public hearing. Next, we have items for individual consideration. Tonight, we have an ordinance on first reading, ordinance 4/2026. An ordinance of the City Council of Sheridan, Colorado, amending Chapter 50 of the city's municipal code by adopting a new Article 10 regarding fireworks. And so we'll need a motion. Thank you, Councilman Whitaker for the motion and Councilman Moreno for the second. Are there any discussions? That would be you.
Yes, thank you. So there's an error in this ordinance. There will be a motion, the city clerk will put it up in a moment, but it'll be a motion to amend on page 22, section of the packet, section 50-73, subpart C, or section C, subpart 4. It should be amended in two places to replace the words city council with city clerk. I apologize that that error made it into the packet, but it will be administratively approved by the city clerk, not the city council. So that is the basis of the motion, the amended motion.
Thank you.
We have a motion to amend from Councilmember Moreno and a second on that motion to amend from Councilmember Stang. So we will vote on the motion to amend ordinance number 4.
That passes. And now we will vote on the so do we need another
We have a motion still on the
motion and a
floor,
second? It's still
and then
there?
I'm just adding to the wording as amended.
Okay, thanks.
And then we will go ahead and vote on that as amended. So we'll keep the original motion from Councilmember Whitaker and the second from Councilmember Moreno.
Thank you.
And then we'll go ahead and vote.
That passes as well, unanimously. Next we have resolution 9, 2026, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sheridan, Colorado, approving an intergovernmental agreement with Arapahoe County for operation of voter service and polling centers in the city of Sheridan. And we have a motion from Councilman Moreno and a second from Councilman Camacho. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, we can go ahead and vote. And that also passes unanimously. Next, we have resolution 10, 2026, a resolution of the City Council of Sheridan, Colorado, approving an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Sheridan and the Arapahoe County Cybersecurity Consortium, which I love. Try saying that 5 times fast. We have a motion from Councilman Moreno and a second from Councilwoman Stang. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, we can go ahead and vote. Wow, this is going to be awesome. Next, we have Mayor's Choice. And really the only thing I have to tell you, I've been, I did to the mayor's, managers, and commissioners meeting with Mr. Cranberry, and I went all the way out 7:30 in the morning to Aurora City Hall with Mayor Kaufman, who's very gracious host and what have you, and it was all on the homelessness initiatives and what have you that Arapahoe County is working on in Aurora. Shoot, they have a facility out there, 300 beds, is that right, Devin? Wasn't it
It was
300,
between 300 and 400. I don't
Looks
remember
like
the exact number.
20 beds or something?
Something like that, yeah.
It was massive. And it had been an office building, right, of some kind, and they've transformed it into a homeless um tier 3 system where, you know, you come in at tier 1, and as you kind of progress, you know, getting if you're willing, of course, it's not mandatory, but if you were willing, you could progress to the next level, which was, you know, starting to work with a counselor and getting a job. And then the third level was more kind of a more permanent, where you're working and you're working with a counselor and you're working to get, you know, yourself set up so that you can move out of homelessness into maybe an apartment of your own or a home of your own. And they even have facilities for your pets. So if you have a cat or a dog or a bird or even a goldfish, you know, they have those amenities. And as you progress, you know, like the third level has laundry, within, they have like a set up room, and then a shared laundry and what have you. And, of course, there's laundry facilities on the tier 1 facility as well. But there it's more like, you know, a laundromat type thing. What else was really cool and interesting about it? It was just the neatest program, but of course, Aurora does, you know, they have probably a bigger need than we do, but it was just the neatest program. And so I'm hoping that, you know, the Tri-Cities Initiative and what have you can find something. Who knows? Maybe that's where we're headed. Who knows? It was really a neat program. So, and oh, I went to Dr. Cog for Councilman Whitaker. He had a special event at his job, so I got to go and sit in his seat at Dr. Cog, and just all kinds of good things about funding for roads and what have you. That's all I've done. Anybody else? We have council member's choice next.
That's something.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah, are you still on the Zoom in the meeting?
Don't see him right now.
Okay.
If you have something though, I'm happy to pass it
Yeah,
on.
there's apparently kind of a sinkhole by Chili's that was big enough, you know, for a car to get, you know, kind of caught in. Victoria, who manages Monahan's, let me know about that and asked if I would bring it up in the meeting just to be sure that we're addressing whatever that is, whatever may happen. I think it's in the parking lot, right by Chili's. Yeah.
Does Kimco fix that?
Yeah.
Does Kimco fix that?
Yes. So that's not our responsibility. That's
Okay.
They're responsible for addressing any subsidence over there.
Okay.
We make them aware of it. I'll make sure that.
Yeah, and then the other day, Jeff Little here, he had sent me some photos of the Bear Creek kind of, you know, getting clogged up with a bunch of debris. This must have been when the snow was melting yesterday or the day before?
Just a moment. Can you go up to the microphone because our interpreter can't hear you?
Oh, also announce who you are. And your address, please. God, do it by the books.
Hotspot. Jeffrey Little, I'm off of 3679 South Knox. Now it's a beaver dam that is starting to look kind of grimy from fallout, and it's got water levels behind it really, really high. And that can cause degradation and other stuff.
Mm.
But there's a lot of debris in it as well.
Okay.
And I sent those to him as I was going to 7-Eleven to take care of business.
Okay.
We can make urban drainage aware of that, and so they have a program, they'll come out and they'll remove those. The thing that's crazy, they have to do it by hand, yeah, it's pretty labor intensive anytime they have beaver dams, because they don't want to hurt the beavers.
Correct.
Right, and so they have to get in there and really they have people that go in there and by hand pull that apart, so it's a lot of heavy work, but we'll let them know if they've got some blockages that are going on.
It's really long.
Yeah, it's in their interest to go ahead and clear those out, so in case that you have a flooding event, you can have a lot of stuff coming down the river that you don't want coming down the river, so.
Was
And
it,
it's not unusual in the spring, as we're going into springtime here, to see a lot of
Oh, yeah.
that stuff happen, yeah.
was that blockage kind of by the bridge that goes between Bobcat and Wildcat Parks? It was, or down, it was down
No,
by the
this one
flying zone?
was actually, that bridge that they put in here, I don't know, a few years back. I got pictures of it somewhere in my thousands of pictures, but it's ties into the back of Jefferson,
Okay.
the dead
yeah.
end side there.
Okay.
We can go down there and find it.
clarify it
We'll just let them know.
for you
They'll
to-
come down and find it, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Devin.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you also, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
I guess I have one thing.
Go ahead.
So, in my neighborhood, Ward 1, I guess, the homeless, by the river, they just kind of been out of control this year, but, they're kind of like migrating up into the neighborhoods, and their, piles of junk. I've definitely migrated up into my neighborhood, but, probably just right across the street from my house, there's a pile. And I know that's kind of tricky as far as like from a public works standpoint, as far as like notifying them and giving them time to move their stuff and whatnot, but they're just getting a little more active directly in our neighborhoods as well as just on the path. And I'm thinking, watching a lot of people go down that path every day, but the piles are getting bad, and they're kind of like at night, they just kind of like move them around from spot to spot, and then they kind of like raid each other's piles. But most of these piles have moved to the point now where they're either on the street or on like, just on just on the outskirts of private property, I guess. What would you call that? The right of way.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I just wanted to mention that to you guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll make code enforcement aware of that, and they keep track and kind of keep an eye on that. That's where that is, and you're correct. There are rules around notifications and timeframes and things like that. And anytime that you're working with the unhoused population and their belongings, you have to be very careful about. You can't just come in there and throw things away. You have to maintain them. So we have to, if we have to go in and actually kind of do a cleanup or something similar to that, we oftentimes have to keep whatever it is that we pick up, and we'll take it over to our shops area in the yard there, and we'll do that. And then you have to put notice out. People can come and pick it up. And so it's a very involved process. You're right that there's a lot, there's, written 72-hour notices and all kinds of things, but we'll keep an eye on that.
Historically, it was a little closer down by the river and in the wooded areas.
Yeah.
Now they're kind of like, they got their shopping carts and piles like up in our neighborhood in Ward 1. So it seems like they're getting a little more bold and comfortable with the residential areas, and
Okay.
yeah, that's not comfortable for the residents, but.
Sure. Okay.
Anyone else? Okay. And with that, we do not have anything left but public comment, if there's anyone. Okay, no public comments. And in that case, then we can go ahead and adjourn. This meeting is adjourned at